So somehow we've actually arrived here at the day before, or rather the day of the day before, launching on the day that they said it was going to be after the day that it was going to be was delayed to this day, the day of the day before. And I already forgot what I was talking about, but basically this game has been an absolute disaster since it was first mentioned publicly, even though it somehow managed to be the most wishlisted game on Steam for a good long while. But as we've found out more about it, it's been reaffirmed time and time again that there's something off here. I've made previous videos on the game, and basically the Spark Notes version of it is that they've been caught trying to use AI assets. They've done really lazy flips of assets into the game, and every time people have asked for gameplay, there's some excuse as to why we can't get it directly. And often all we've seen are extremely scripted sequences where clearly the game is not actually running in real time with real players. Pair with this some of the bizarre behavior on the part of the devs, which the term developer implies that they're part of like a team or a company that's making this game. No, actually, this whole game is being made by volunteers, okay? It's not actually developed by a team that's being paid salaries or like by the hour or something. This is all being put together by people who have volunteered their time for some reason to make this game. And so every time we get a piece of new information as it relates to the day before, the whole situation gets stankier and stankier. And it's no different with this tweet that they sent out on December 4th, just a handful of days ago, which was frankly bizarre. Like, this whole post is basically telling people, don't call us scammers. Please don't accuse us of scamming. That's not true. We didn't take a penny from anyone. Please don't accuse us of asset flips. That's not true. Also, our team worked day and night for 5 years to make our dream game a reality. Please don't underestimate our work. It wasn't easy. Like, the whole thing is really weird. It's like the evolution of that process where a game launches, it's broken, and so everybody puts out an apology, and then we make fun of the apology, and then maybe they make the game better, and then everybody's happy. Now, it's just at the point where some of these developers are putting out the apology for the game and the excuses for the game being bad before it even launches. The whole thing's just weird. But now the game is actually out and we can play it. And as you can see, you can buy it on Steam for $40 and choose your personality. And then you go to general, you can choose a different character look. I don't really care that much about this. You can do different makeup or looks to it. Ooh, we'll go brooding. Long hair. Let's finalize it. Character's name, we're gonna go Lukeler. Confirm. Maybe. Okay, the game is running. I'll give them that. Select server, join server. We're just gonna choose the fastest one. Population high. Look how many people are in here. Now, some people have said that this is because the servers are overwhelmed with a crazy number of players who are all trying to get on at the same time, but I don't think it's that simple. Oh, wait. There are 10,971 players in game right now. Okay. More than I would have thought, but I would guess that a lot of these people are gonna just end up returning the game within 2 hours of playing it, because again, only 15% of the 7,500 reviews are positive, which gives it an overwhelmingly negative review score, which again ain't very good. I mean, this is already going really, really well. You see, they all have very high population counts, so like there's no place to join the game basically. And if you just select one randomly, like Vineville, try to join, little mouse cursor will pop up here in a second. Oh wait, no, did we get in? I think we did. Okay. It only took me a couple of minutes of trying, which is honestly better than I would have expected. So I'll give them that. Just a couple of minutes. Oh, and here we go.
Damn.
Mytona.
Is he infected?
Is he infected?
Looks clean. What do we do? He'll die here. No time. Get him to the car.
Hey, can you hear me?
Barely.
It looks like your pupils are responding and your hearing is intact.
It's just Fallout New Vegas.
How are you feeling?
I'm
When
okay.
we found you had lost a lot of blood. I don't usually believe in miracles, so I assume that your quick recovery is the result of incredible fortitude.
Maybe.
Oh, by the way, Welcome to Woodbury. I think this is the first time we've ever seen you here.
Is this not just like straight up Fallout New Vegas?
Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now.
Try to get off the bed.
Okay. Stand up, damn you. Very slowly. So already, I mean, there's like a little bit of effort here. There's a little opening cinematic. Maybe this game isn't that bad. Maybe there's actually a thing here.
I'm really glad to
That'd be
see
great.
you doing so quickly. We've saved people from
The audio levels are really hit or miss, though. I will say that. This is max volume. My name is Lukeler.
All right. Your speech organs seem fine. Nice to meet you.
I've never heard somebody call them speech organs. I did have a vocal instructor in high school. She would always tell us in the choir that we had to protect our instrument. That's how she phrased it. So whenever we were like a little sick or groggly or something, she'd be like, don't sing today. You must protect your instrument. And ever since then, I can never unsee it whenever somebody is talking about their throat. I want to be like, oh, protect your instrument. You have to do that. Okay, we retrieve our belongings now. Take. You can't drop items during this task. I'm trying to take it. Oh, it wants me to take the things they're pointing at. Okay. Take everything. I love random inventory management stuff. Okay. Honestly, I'm not joking. Like, we can meme around. This is already way more than I was expecting to see here. So I'll give them that. Like, this is an actual video game, at least as it seems right now. So I'll give them that. It seems like there's something here. There's a bunch of naked players all over the place, but what are you gonna do? Is this song gonna get me copyright struck? Maybe. I'll just skip past it. Oh, look, they're warping into each other. Player characters running around awkwardly. Half-naked people crouched. Okay, so it's a little janky, but you know what? Janky games can be fun. They can be good. So let's give it a fair shot. Okay, so here we are. Molly is just taking a knee, going full Tebow on it. See other players running around. Okay. It's an online game. Weird stuff happens in online games, okay? I won't give them too much crap for it. Okay, so here, welcome to your land plot. Here you can build your own house and upgrade it, as well as purchase furniture for it. That's kind of cool. So they actually transport you to an outside area, separate from the map and everything else. Just totally independent. I don't know. I was trying to pull up like the map to compare it, to see if they like place me on the map, but I don't think they do. I think it's totally separate. Almost like Hogwarts Legacy, it's like the Room of Requirement. It's kind of like that, where it's just your own spot to build stuff away from other players. Who cares if it messes with the lore or whatever? It's just for fun. Oh, and you can just build straight up houses. Okay. What are the odds that in a couple of weeks they start charging for this currency? Probably pretty good, right? Probably pretty good. Okay, open this. I can place furniture. Let's place a cot. This looks like straight up Fallout 76 building. Love it. Okay, yeah, we gotta have this in our tent. Exposed to the elements. Makes sense. Okay. And okay, quick little tutorial over. I will give them credit. It's kind of cool to have a little building system. I think that's a good touch. I think it makes sense in the world if you're trying to build like an always online MMO zombie fighting type game. I think it makes sense. It's kind of a fun idea. So that's cool. Honestly, at this point, yeah, the game's janky as hell, but there's a lot more here than I expected, so I'll give them that. And okay, here we are. New Fortune City, the actual map available to us. Other survivors, beware of the infected. Okay, once you found enough valuable items, head to the evacuation points. So it's got evacuation shooter mechanics kind of mixed in. Okay, not a bad idea. I mean, basically how this has been framed for a lot of people is that it's the Division mixed with zombies. At least that's what they're trying to do. It's supposed to be sort of a big MMO with zombies in a big city like this where you can play with your friends. And that as a concept, I don't think is a bad idea. I think that can make a lot of sense. But whether these guys specifically pulled it off is another question entirely. Oh, I hear gunshots. Is there another player? There might be another player. I'm looking. Can we get in a little spat? That would be kind of cool. Oh yeah, I guess I should also put up performance stats up in the top left. So there you can see it. I mean, we're not getting bad performance in terms of raw frames, but it is pretty stuttery. There's a bunch of random dips everywhere. So it's a little inconsistent, but it's not the worst I've seen for sure. I mean, so far I'm just running around. I haven't seen any infected, which probably I'm gonna go with is lore related because it's daylight. So they're not going to be out during the day. So that makes sense, but still no players. I'm a little surprised by that considering this server is supposed to be packed to the brim. So that's a little surprising, but I'll keep looking. Oh, did we find an infected? Oh God. Oh no. Dude, you're doing so good. Oh, I was like, there's actually a big map. Yeah, it's pretty sparse and there's not much interesting to do in here. Is that something I can open? No. But like, again, I've seen much lazier cash grabs than this. So I wouldn't think that this is that offensive. Like it at least seems that they have put a little bit of effort in here. I mean, for volunteer work, this seems pretty competent. So I'll give them that. But in a zombie like extraction shooter, if the shooting is not good and is super delayed and there's very little impact to it, it doesn't matter how good the rest of it is or how reasonable the world looks. It just doesn't matter. Like the core of the game is rotten and you can't really get around that. I also can hear gunshots going off in the distance. I don't think those are actual players. I think that's just ambient noise because every time I've heard it, it comes from what sounds like the far right direction. No matter which way I'm facing or what I'm doing, it's always doing it. There's also these really annoying like alarms that go off. It drives me crazy. Oh, another player. Oh my God, why did they kill me so fast? I mean, I will grant you, I'm not very good at this game, or most games. But doesn't that seem like a little egregious? I have a rifle and then the pistol takes me out? Okay. Okay. Also, why does it have that Uncharted 4 spinning coin thing for loading? Am I the only one that's like kind of weirded out by that? It doesn't really make a lot of sense in what I've seen established for lore. Wait, I lost all my stuff. Do I have to go all the way back to where I was to get my stuff again? Is that how this works? Oh God. More floating tablets. There's a lot. Exit. Okay. Even more floating tablets. Love it. Okay. Okay. New Fortune City. Let's go back out. Okay, now I'm back out here with nothing. Okay. Will do. I want to see, can I go pick up my loot if they didn't take it all? I mean, I will say I have no idea what I'm looking at with this map. I mean, so already the problem I have is just that the shooting is really sucky to begin with. And then beyond that, there just isn't really anything fun here yet. And for a game that you're already on the fence about, that's a problem because Steam's return policy only lasts for the first 2 hours guaranteed. So if you get past 2 hours of gameplay time, they don't have to grant you a return. Even if you are totally justified and the game gets terrible after that 2 hour mark, you played it for 2 hours, you've basically given up your right to return it under Steam's policy at that point. So it's the problem with these like iffy, suspicious games when they are a really slow burn and build in terms of quality. And you're like, oh, well, the game gets really good after a few hours or after you've put in X amount of time. And I just don't think that's acceptable. I think that's a huge problem because in this case, I'm not going to put 5 hours into this to see if I start liking it. I'm going to see what I'm feeling after an hour or two because I don't want to waste my time or certainly my money on something that ends up sucking, you know? Like, why would I? Oh, cool. I found bullets for a gun I don't have. Love it. Of course, I'm being a little sassy because yes, I died and it's a survival game. And so you'd expect to lose your loot. I get that. Again, I don't know how fun it is, but I get it. I can accept it. I am surprised there's no vaulting. Like you can't jump over that fence, which is just seems like so obvious to me to put that in a post-apocalyptic game where you're like wanting to leap over fences and stuff to search for loot or to get away from zombies and stuff, but you just can't. I mean, really, this is the most offensive thing a game can do. Like you can be a little rushed, you can be a little buggy and bland, and you can have all of these other problems with framing or with marketing. And yeah, you basically have a slave workforce of volunteers instead of paid staffers. All of that is like, okay, maybe a game can still be great even with some of that stuff. But the greatest offense is just being flat boring. And at this point, I've been playing for like an hour or 45 minutes, whatever the hell it's been. And I've had zero dopamine enter my brain. Like there's nothing about this that makes me want to continue. And that's something that is just unacceptable. Like seriously, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because the entirety of this game seems to just be running around in circles, hearing that super annoying alarm that's everywhere for some reason. And then just continuing to run around to look for something else. Like, this is a zombie apocalypse. Shouldn't there be zombies? Like, shouldn't there be something happening? Like, I ran into a player and a zombie, and that's it. And this server is allegedly filled to the brim. Like, what are we doing? And so, look, I wanted to see if I was, like, the only one not really having any fun with the day before. But no, like apparently I'm not the only one. There's streamers galore that have been trying to play the game and have been running into all sorts of problems. There's this clip from Mylan Games playing the game, and you can see there's a little bit of a bug on screen. Also, he ran into that very, very loud. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I'm not joking. So I just alt-tabbed out of the game into my browser to show this little clip, and then this popped up. The UE-survival game has crashed and will close. That's the day before. That's what that is. So two things. For one, it's hilarious that the game crashed while I just alt-tabbed out of it. Secondly, why is it called the UE survival game? Why isn't it called in the bug report thing like the day before? Is that not really, really weird? Is that not strange? It seems strange to me, but okay. It's a fatal error. Okay. Did it close the game? Yup, sure did. Sure did close the game. It's not there anymore. Love that. Yup, it closed automatically. Wow. Okay, so the game doesn't even want to run in the background. You gotta love that. Well, anyway, what I was trying to show you before the game took a crap is this bug, which I thought was hilarious, of a like player character model or something being just massive. Like I've never seen that in a game. What is even happening? Like what? He's just like bob and weave, bob and weave, bob and weave. Nick Calandra also is reporting these screenshots. Not fantastic, completely scrubbing their channel to hide any evidence of the fake the day before game they marketed. Left is today, right is earlier this year. Have zero problem describing this as a full-blown scam now. If you look at the right, you see there's all of these promotional like trailers and things, all these clips of like Lakeside Campfire and then gameplay sections, IGN special event trailers and all this stuff. And then today, it's just all gone. They've just scrubbed it all because the stuff that they showed in that trailer either is missing in the final game or is just so broken that nobody's going to see it themselves. I don't know how you explain this without them knowing that they overpromised and very much underdelivered. You want to see another clip with that super freaking annoying alarm? Well, this one is from Holly Rex on Twitch. And same thing, like huge character models. I don't know what would be causing it, but a lot of people are apparently running into it. And then he just floats off into the distance.
He's flying.
Like, is that just one player character that like hacked the game and is like having fun making people like see all these bugs? Or is this happening to a lot of people and they just don't realize it? Like, what is happening? And I mean, for me, it's also, as far as I can tell, it's not an MMO. Like, my experience playing the game is that the opening hub of the game is an MMO. Yeah, there's lots of players. It's massively multiplayer in those hubs. But the moment you get out into the open world, it's completely dead. There's nothing to see, nothing to do other than opening some chests and then occasionally coming across a car that you can search for 3 bullets and maybe a bottle of water. And then you keep running. You might run into a singular player somewhere else. But like, that's the whole game. That's the whole thing. There's no gameplay loop. There's no adventure. There's no fun, satisfying like drip of dopamine to keep you going. It's just nothingness. It's like they spent years having their volunteers just build out a map of a city, and then they got like some characters moving on it, and then they found a way to kind of have small servers to put them in, and then they came up with this like rough looting system where you can get some items, but like that's it. It's just, there's not really a game here. That's what's most frustrating, is that it's not even like it's a bad game. There just isn't a game. I mean, I don't think this is gonna come as a surprise to anybody, but I think I know what I have to do, and it is to just simply uninstall and try to forget about this. Just wipe it from my memory and move on. You know, this is one of those cases where I think people can understand why it's important to be skeptical of these types of games. And it's not because we like to be negative Nancy's or like disappoint people who are really excited. Because at one point, lots of people were very excited for this thing. It was the most wish-listed game on Steam for a long time, which shows that people wanted what they were trying to sell. It's just that they weren't able to actually deliver the product that people wanted, which, hint, hint, Ubisoft and all these other developers, I think there's a big demand for basically like The Division mixed with a zombie survival game. I think a lot of people would like that. Just a little hint for you. But in instances like this, it shows you why it's important to be skeptical, which just means to not believe the thing until there's sufficient evidence to believe that thing. It's really not more complicated than that. That's all being a skeptic really is. It's not being cynical. It's not being hateful or dismissive of something just to be a contrarian. It is simply not accepting something as being the case until there's evidence for it being the case, sufficient to meet the extraordinary nature of whatever the claim may be. So if you're talking about this unknown developer making a video game that is extremely ambitious, that seems to be well beyond their wheelhouse, and then all of their other marketing campaigns are not anywhere near up to snuff, and they have a history of hyping up games and then crashing them down and abandoning them shortly after, and then all of these trailers don't make any sense, and then they have trailers randomly showing off Lamborghinis when it's supposed to be a zombie post-apocalyptic survival game. When there's all these red flags, you should not accept their claim that this is going to be a great MMO for you to play with your friends. If they had other things going for them, if this was coming from like Bungie, or if it was coming from like Rockstar, yeah, then you can accept that it's probably going to be really good. But when you look at all the pieces of evidence, it gave us a really good idea that this game was not going to be very good and dare I say bad. And now that we actually have it in our hands, we can see that it is in fact bad. I don't like this part of the job. Like, okay, let me back up. I'm very fortunate to be in the job that I have. This is literally a dream come true, so don't get it twisted. But that being said, I don't like having to like smack down games that people have put time and love and care into making. It feels like you're the kindergarten teacher that's saying like the little kindergartner's drawing sucks. It's just like, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, makes you feel bad. It's like, well, at least they created something and I'm here just like slapping it down. It makes me feel bad. But the moment it stops feeling bad is when they're charging $40 for it, and there's very good evidence they knew that it was not good. And they knew it wasn't actually worth what they were charging for it. That's when I stopped feeling bad about criticizing it and calling it out. And in this case, they've scrubbed their YouTube channels. I just checked. They've scrubbed a lot of their tweets. They've gone back and tried to retcon a ton of stuff that they've previously said about the day before, because clearly it's not actually in the final product. And all the while, they're accepting $40 freaking dollars for this monstrosity. And at that point, I just don't feel that bad. Even if it was a volunteer mission, even if they poured 5 years and a lot of effort into it, it's just frankly not my problem. Once you start asking for real world money, you know, like I get you put time into it, but $40 is $40. And at that point, I get to hold you to the same standard as Insomniac with Miles Morales, which was like $40-50 when it launched. I get to hold you to the same standard as Ubisoft with their $40 games. And at least those things are fun and like have standards of quality and QA departments and stuff. They're not just straight up telling you the game is one thing and then selling you something totally different. But anyway, now that I gave it a shot and I found it lacking to my standards, I have uninstalled it. I'm going to try to get a refund for it. And if you were somebody that dared to try it yourself, I would recommend that you also get a refund, because oof. But with all that, thank you for watching. I love you all dearly. You make my dreams a reality every single day, and I owe it all to you. Never think I take it for granted. I really don't. That's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. I love you all dearly, and I'll see you in the next one. Hugs and kisses.